My name is Lawrence Cutler, and my wife Judy and I are the founders of the National Museum of American Illustration. Illustration, in a brief sentence, can be defined as the art that was created to be reproduced in magazines and other periodicals, in books, and later in advertising.
At the time, if you were paid to do something, you were not considered an artist by the art establishment.
When I was a kid, you would see these wonderful illustrations in old books, the illustrators like Wyeth and Parrish, and the pages were always kind of brownish, but you could always tell that there was something great in the painting, or in the plate, as they used to call them.
The illustrators who created these images, as a result of their talents and the public's likes of one illustrator over another, became very famous indeed.
People think illustration is not art, but they're foolish. When you go to the Sistine Chapel, that's illustration. Michelangelo, one of our great illustrators.
Howard Pyle is known as the father of American illustration. He started a school where he specifically encouraged and taught young artists to become illustrators. He recognized the talent in N.C. Wyeth. He influenced Rockwell, he influenced Leyendecker. In fact, he had Maxfield Parrish for maybe 6 weeks. That was the most he saw of him. And when he saw Parrish, he said, "You don't need any more of my training. You know everything so well. Why don't you just continue doing what you do so well?" You may not know the name Joseph Christian Leyendecker.
Every year, J.C. Leyendecker was asked by the Saturday Evening Post to paint the covers for almost all the holidays, because every time Leyendecker did a cover, the magazines would sell out. And for something like 30 years, he put a baby on the cover, sometimes ringing in the new year, and that itself has become an image not just for this country, but for people all over the world. It is a symbol and an iconic image.
J.C.'s most famous for the Arrow Collar Man, where many women were so enthralled with his image that they would write fan mail. And he shared his mansion with his companion, Charles Beach, and Charles Beach became the Arrow Collar Man.
Our most beloved illustrator, of course, was Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell, who got his inspiration from Leyendecker and shared a studio in New Rochelle, then also was inspired to present to Americans on the covers what he saw Americans doing.
The painting Miss Liberty is a really incredibly important image to all of us. Miss Liberty represents America herself in her red, white, and blue outfit with the stars on the blouse and the striped trousers and the like. But she's carrying the symbols of so many jobs that women were not allowed to enter. A seminal moment in our history, a moment that one can really state the illustration image created by the illustrator artist did in fact change our society forevermore. And women were no longer relegated to the back room sewing buttons on sweaters. Maxfield Parrish had several really truly milestone paintings and artistic undertakings that should be really highlighted. His most famous painting is the painting called Daybreak. Daybreak was so popular, it was reproduced as an art print in 1922. It was the most popular image ever created, and to this day is still the painting that was reproduced more than any other painting in an art print.
When you look at some of the studies that I have one by Parrish, that is the study for Daybreak, which, by the way, has the third woman in it. The actual painting only has 2 women. But me, I have what he thought about first, and that's what I love. So you see this thing, and there's lines and boxes, and it's a structure. This study is a structure on paper, and it's stunning.
I remember him saying in one of his last years, when he was gone, that if you looked at a beautiful sunset, turn around and look the other way, and if there's a beautiful golden glow on the trees, he'd be there. It's a charming memory, because his paintings are full of golden glows and rosy glows and blue glows and lavender glows.
There's just something romantic and something fun and magical about what he did and how he did it.
Only in the last 10 to 15 years was illustration art finally accepted by the fine arts establishment. And today, illustration art is considered the most American of American art because it combines not only the artist's technical skills, their expertise with aesthetics, but also it combines our history with art.
I can say that one of the things that I've always hoped would happen is that someone would take the time to take all of these American illustrators, whether it's Leyendecker, or whether it's Parrish, or whether it's Norman Rockwell. And there have been some things done on Norman Rockwell, but nothing which is really as engaging as we can be now, with the ways that people can visually show what these guys did, how they constructed, what they were thinking about.
I think it's interesting to talk about whether illustration reflected American society or, in fact, molded American society through the images that were created by the greatest of the Golden Age illustrators.
Illustration was never, ever respected the way it is today. And today, it is filling a void that we need to educate and to show to future generations what our American heritage was like.
George Lucas recently described illustration art as cultural artifacts infused with the sensibility of a particular time. It's a complicated way of really saying that the illustration art has an importance to us as a part of our American civilization, our history. And in fact, American illustration art is really our history in images.